Good morning,
And that's us.
and welcome.
Morning, guys.
Welcome to our latest live. Myself and Chris. I'm going to pin these to the chat, the Facebook groups, and leave you in Chris's capable hands to introduce this.
Cheers for that, Simon. Yeah, morning, everyone. Day 3 of Cheltenham. Quite an eventful day yesterday at Cheltenham, with the cross-country race being called off due to the waterlogged part of the course. With that race, they go through different areas of the Cheltenham racecourse, so pretty waterlogged in some areas, too dangerous for the horses to run on, so was cancelled from that side of things, which then led to a bit of complication with the times of the horse racing changing around a bit. But we got there in the end. Another good day. Willie Mullins stamping his place in the history books with his 100 winners at Cheltenham Festival. Massive achievement of doing that. I think the nearest one to him is 77. I think that might be De Bonneville that's got that from what I read yesterday. But yeah, some historic events happening with regards to that. And so Willie Mullins got an eye and a half for new horses coming out, horses running like they did do. Obviously, I had a bit of a letdown with one of the horses, the favourite Eldorado, yesterday in one of the big races, but just one loss for him on that, and another 3 winners taken him to the grand 100 mark. But yeah, today we're going to have a run through the Lucky Finder that we've done and go through that again with you guys. Personally, I've had a bit of success with that this week. I had two winners and 2 seconds coming on Tuesday, and then I had a couple of places land on one yesterday as well. So I'm well in profit for the week, just using the Lucky Finder from that side of things, and also each way no lay. Bit of a high risk on the pro tier doing that. Obviously, you need the mindset and bankroll like we spoke about before with regards to that. But yesterday on the big race, I picked out 6. Well, I didn't pick out the Pro Tools each way no lay. Picked out 6 horses for me to go out that met the criteria I was looking for, which is between 105 and a 120% EV. I've actually gone to 110 and 130 for this week, but 6 horses all around the 120% mark. Put them all on. I hit the 4th place. I hit the 7th place and the 8th place horse. It had selected for me, but unfortunately, I put that on Ladbrokes instead of on Sky. Ladbrokes were paying 6 places, whereas Sky were paying 8 places on that. So if I'd done it all on Sky, I would have had a really nice profit from those 3 horses coming in. As it was, I ended up with a nice profit from those anyway. But yeah, that's enough of where we've been and what we've done. Are we all pinned and on all the necessary groups now, Simon?
All pinned now. Yeah, also going out to YouTube as well. So welcome wherever you are. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have. We'll pick them off throughout, but mainly sort of focus on them the second half. But if we see anything like that we want to bring in sooner, we'll answer that as we go along. So really just help if you have questions, because we know what you want to ask, and it helps us to avoid waffling. Not that we do ever waffle, apart from them.
No, we're not known as the 2 wafflers of the team at all, Simon. So
not at all.
yeah,
Not at
no
all.
problem at all.
On that note, let's have a look at some of the offers that are going for today. In fact, what I'll do to start with is, just so I get through this, something we haven't talked about is the Lucky Finder. So there are some tools with the with Pro membership. Still got the sale on Pro membership at the moment, so it's a good time to go through it to show what's available. So I'll go through a couple of things that we haven't really talked about in too much depth. We've looked at Extra Place Master quite a lot. We'll have another look today at it, but mainly focusing on Lucky Finder. And also, first thing I'll look at is, in fact, if I share screen and right, so dashboards and then tools, and there's Price Boost Tracker, which is a really nice tool. Basically, you can find the price boosts on in the Price Boost no chat thread on the forum with Platinum membership, Diamond membership. Pro membership adds Price Boost tracker as well, which integrates it a lot more nicely, and you can see the particular boosts here, what the bet is on, the maximum stake. This might vary from, it will vary from person to person generally. You've got links to the bookmaker and the exchange, and it says what the profit is. So it's a lot nicer to do it, and you can show the liability needed as well. So various different boosts. This is the same, couple of different horses here. So T-Hoo-Poo, some lovely names for horses. Facile Vega as well. So there you go. And yeah, so Envoy Allen there as well. So loads of different ones there. A couple of pages of boosts. So some nice ones here. Does what it says really. You can see the boosted odds. You can see the exchange odds. And you can see the profit there. The blue ones being the better ones, red ones not being profitable boosts, so obviously they're not all worth doing. This one not profitable here, so just don't bother. But the odds might change, and so it might make it profitable. So there you go. That's Price Boost Tracker, and then we're on to Lucky Finder as well, which is here. And as you can see, it's all looking a bit blank to start with. Now, Lucky Finder is a brand new. There is a guide for it. There's a training guide here. So click on that. It opens that up, and there's a nice guide to Lucky Finder. Well, I might add to this if anybody has any other questions. And you can ask questions in that thread as well. I mean, Ollie wrote this. I've done a really nice guide for it. So by all means, have a look at that if you have pro membership. But what this does basically, a Lucky 15 is it's basically you're betting on 4 different horses, and I'll just select a bookmaker. I'm going to select Betfred. I'll explain why in a moment. But the Betfred there, and what it does is it picks 4 horses at Betfred. They're not totally random horses, and I'll explain how it picks them. So we've got these 4 different horses, 4 different so not 4 different races, 2 of the same races. You're placing each way bets with this. So they're going to be each way Lucky 15 bets. And what this actually does, it sounds more complicated than it is. It's going to place a Lucky 15 on a single bet, on a win bet, is going to be made up of 15 separate bets. So if you were to go for a £1 Lucky 15 bet, it will place 15 separate bets on this. This is for not each way bets. We're going to be placing each way bets. But just to explain how a Lucky 15 works. If you're doing it as a win bet, you would bet on these 4 different horses. They will be in different races with a win bet. You wouldn't bet on 2 horses in the same race because you can't both win. So you wouldn't choose these 2. So you'd bet on 4 different horses, and the Lucky 15, what it does is it's settled based on 15 different bets. So it's the fourfold. So betting on all 4 horses to win. With a £1 stake. Let's say you did a £1 Lucky 15. You'd have a £1 stake on the fourfold, which is all 4 horses to win. You'd have the different threefold bets that there are as well, all the different possible threefolds. So first horse with the second horse and the third horse, first horse with the second horse and the fourth horse, etc. All of the possibilities there, all of the possible doubles, and all of the possible singles. So all 4 singles. So it places all of those bets automatically, and that's a win bet for a Lucky 15. What we're doing is an each way bet, because a lot of the value comes from the place. If you have a look at the place EV column, that's where the value is, not with the win bet, the win part. And so what you would do is you place an each way Lucky 15. So if you were to place a £1 each way Lucky 15, it would have a £30 stake. So obviously the stakes can get quite high. So just lower your stakes so that you're comfortable with what they are. Now, you're not going to lay these. It's technically possible to lay single bets on Lucky 15s. Each way bet, I made a calculator to do it. There's no point at all. The liabilities are huge, and I don't know how to lay each way ones. It'll be even more complicated. So you don't lay these at all. You just place them, and basically they're advantage play. So as I said, if you place let's say if you place a 50p Lucky 15, it's going to have a £30 total stake, and you're going to have each way bets on every single horse with doubles, trebles, the fourfold, and all of the individual each way bets for each horse as well. It does this automatically, so you don't need to worry about it. And what this shows, Chris is going to talk a bit about this. He's done some of these himself, has some nice success with it. It's a reasonably, it has variance to it. It's a reasonably high variance offer to go for. What it is basically, Betfred are a good one to go for because, as well as there being the value in here, this EV down at the bottom is the value, the long-term value of this particular bet, and the value comes from the fact that the plate, there is EV, there's value in the place market, not in the win market. That would be an arb for that particular horse if there. So you're basically getting value from the place market. So basically what it does, Betfred are a good one to go for because, as well as having this value here at the bottom, you've also got, they pay out, I'm trying to think what it is. They pay out if you have, is it one winner bonus or something like that, Chris?
If one horse wins on your lucky 15, they pay double the odds on that horse for it. If you have two horses, they obviously don't pay the double the odds, but I think it's something like a 10% bonus on there. Three horses is like a 15 or 20% bonus, and I think it's about 25% bonus if all four horses come in, which, when you're looking at the odds for this is something I was talking to one of the developers about the other day with regards to the Betfred offer, that if by some miracle you had all four horses win, obviously being paid by the win and the place, and the odds that you get, your payout could be literally up in the hundreds of thousands, and then you're getting a 25% bonus on top of that. I'd be happy just with the 25% bonus from it, let alone the payout that you're going to get on there. But getting all four horses to win is a rarity. I remember when we did live last week, myself and Oz, when we were talking about lucky 15s and such like. There was a lady that came on and said that her grandma had done a lucky 15 last year and won something cheap like 25 grand from it. So the possibility is there for it to happen. As someone said, I did a lucky 15 on Tuesday using the lucky finder. I did it on a Gubbed Paddy Power account that I've got. They were paying some decent places with regards to that side of things, and I had two winners and two second places from there. I did a £1 each way lucky 15, so it cost me £30 to do so, but it came in at just under £300 as my profit from there. So a 270 sort of pound profit from one lucky 15 finder. That's covered all of my days betting that I did, with additional profit on top as well. So just from that one that I did, it's been profitable for me already. And we've had members on our live chat and emails. Andy has on Facebook as well, saying they've done their first lucky 15s and they've made 70, 80 quid profit. They've made £200-300 profit from their first rounds of doing lucky 15s. They are a great bet to do as well, and especially if you've got a gubbed account. If you've got a gubbed account, it's a great way to utilize them because the EV is there for it. So we know long term they are going to be profitable for us. It's a great way to use that gubbed account and still make a profit from them in the long term.
Yeah, spot on. And what it does as well, it's picking horses not just because the bookmaker is doing extra place bets on them. If it is doing extra place, then it takes advantage of the fact with that's factored in with the place EV, with the total EV as well. So that's factored in, but it doesn't rely purely on extra places. So you'll have some races that are extra place races and some that aren't. So for this one, I'm just going to select Cheltenham. It's already got Cheltenham on there. So Cheltenham, just select the whole of there and go for that. So it'll just should do, I think. Cheltenham. Yeah, it's just filtered for Cheltenham. And then what you do is it just picks, it's not four completely random horses. The reason it's not showing the same four horses for everyone is because if everybody started placing bets on the same four horses with the same bookmaker, it would start to show up massive red flags, because the chance of people choosing exactly the same horses for a lucky 15 kind of is quite unlikely. So this is what it does. It throws random ones. So you've got an overall EV percentage. So if you have £100 of total stakes, this would give you a £16 profit on average. So it's the value of it, long-term value. You might be very unlucky and lose your full stake. Very unlikely to lose all your full stake, because it would involve none of your horses winning and none of your horses placing at all. So it's quite unlikely, but it will happen sometimes. Very unlikely for all four of your horses to win, as Chris said. Basically what happens is the bookie odds are multiplied together. So let's say you're just doing a standard double. You've got odds of 6, decimal odds of 6 for the first horse to win. That's a 1 in 6 chance that one horse at odds of 6 wins. 2 horses at odds of 6, it's 6 times 6, so there's a 1 in 36 chance of both those horses winning. Obviously, when you're having 4 horses, the chances of having the fourfold, which is one of your 15 bets, one of your 15 each way bets, that is. In fact, it's one of your 30 bets for all 4 of them to win. The chance of that is 12 for this one. 12 times 26 times 6 times 5.5, which is 16,224. So on average, you will have you'll win the fourfold on this 1 in every 16,000 or so occasions. It's very, very unlikely, and some of the overall odds are even higher than this. So you don't need to have a win, have every single horse winning. That's the beauty of doing these on lucky 15s. If you're basically doing advantage play on fourfolds, normal fourfold accumulators, you could be going for years without having a single win, just make qualifying loss after qualifying loss, and you might be very lucky amongst that have a huge win. But lucky 15s really lower the variance a lot. Okay, so this one, what we're looking for really is, we're looking for EVs, probably about 120% and above. To lower the variance, if the overall odds are brought down, that will help. So maybe have the overall odds being below 50,000. That sounds ridiculously high, but as I said, you will get a return, especially because you're doing each way bets, without getting every single horse winning. You absolutely do not get every single horse winning. You probably never will get every single horse winning. So what you can do is, I've got it filtered for Betfred, Lucky 15, the L15 there, racecourse is Cheltenham. I'm going to leave the other ones blank for the moment, and I'm going to not remove any horses. If you've already bet on a horse with a particular bookmaker, you might want to remove it so you're not betting on them again. And I'm going to click search again, and it finds 4 different selections. Now this one's a great one to go for potentially. And also max win EV, I'm going to set that to 100 actually. I'm not going to search because this is a good one to go through. Max win EV, that basically removes, if I set that to 100, it removes any win arbs. And it's not showing any anyway, but we don't want to place bets on win arbs because they just stand on like a sort of bookmakers. But the value, as you can see, is in the place. Here we go. So the overall odds here are 26,000, which is well below the sort of the 50,000 threshold I was going for. Very unlikely to win all 4, have all 4 horses win, but as I said, you don't need to. Overall EV of 127%. So that would be a good one to go for. And basically what you do is you would go to Betfred, you'd select these 4 different horses. These ones are from 4 different races, all today. Select the 4 different horses, put your stake on. Remember that your stake is going to be multiplied by 30. So don't go with like a £10 stake or something like that, because you're going to have a £300 stake there. So lower your stake accordingly, and it will automatically place the 15 different bets for you, and it will settle it for you. You might make a loss on it, you might make a profit on it, but on average you're going to make £2.70 from £100 worth of bets. So £2.70 from £10 worth of bets, because it's 127% EV. Once you've done that, if you wanted to remove any horses, you can do. You can go to this. You can select horses to delete. I haven't played with this yet, so Select all. I will have to have a look at how that actually works. To be honest, I haven't read the guide yet. So you can remove horses, I believe. Not sure how to do that. You do this. So remove horse like that. You just cross the horse off with a little X there if you've bet on them, and then they won't show up with another search. Which could be useful if you're doing Betfred. You don't have to keep using the same horse again and again. It would look suspicious. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to remove any horses. I'm just going to search again, and it brings up 4 different horses. Because I haven't removed horses, it could bring up the same horse again. But again, this one is nice EV there, but the total odds are really, really high. Great value, but the variance is very high because you've got some very high odds horses, 41 there, 26 there. So I'm going to search again, see what else I can find. That's a decent one. So 25,000 total odds, 126%. Again, just pick these 4 horses, you place your bet on them, place your lucky 15, and that's it. That's all you do. And it's basically advantage play because we've got the advantage with this EB here. So that's basically it for the lucky finder. So really nice tool to go for. But yeah, it just shows 1 lucky 15 when you come in, and you do have to select a bookmaker. It needs to know which bookmaker it's looking for to actually create one. So it will be blank to start with. But hopefully that's clear. There's a guide there if anything's not clear. Obviously, you can ask us as well. So there you go. Right.
I mean, got a couple of questions that have come in about the Lucky 15 or the Lucky Finder. So quickly run through them before I move on to the next part. So can you put more than 1 Lucky 15? Yes, you can do. I wouldn't do more than 2 Lucky 15s on the same bookmaker personally. That might just stand out a little bit, but spread them across different bookmakers. Do Paddy, Betfred, Sky, any of them at all. But I wouldn't do more than 2 on a bookmaker with regards to that side of things. So yeah, no problem on that side of things. Here's Lucky Finder yesterday. 1 horse was an unrunner, but I still made £24 profit. So yep, even with one of the horses being a non-runner, that would have reduced it the amount of bets that were on there, but still to make a £24 profit from it is absolutely great from that side of things.
I think what it does, somebody asked a question on the forum about that one, and I think what it does it voids that single horse, voids the single bet on that horse, and still settles all of the remaining accumulators that are there, the threefold, the doubles, and the 3 remaining singles. It basically turns into a patent, I think, which is a lucky 7 apparent, effectively.
Yeah. Placed my first lucky 15 last night, only 1 horse of the 4-1, and I was still in profit. Nice surprise. That's the beauty of the lucky 15s. Sometimes you can just have the 1 horse winning on there, especially if it's long odds for it, and still come in with a nice profit from there. So, yep, that's another good reason for doing the lucky 15s. Is it worth refreshing the lucky 15 till all 4 selections show plus EV, or doesn't it matter? I guess it is just literally the overall EV needs to be a positive from it. Having horses with win EVs as a plus aren't really recommended for doing so, but as long as that overall EV, because it is the places as Simon was going through on there, that is where we're looking at for it on that side of things. When you place a lucky bet, do you place each way bet? Yep, it's, as Simon said, it's 30 bets that we're placing on there in theory, but it's all done as 1 bet for you, so you don't have to do it. But you do it and it is each way, because that's where the value is coming from. It's coming from the place side of it as opposed to the win side of it. So we need to do that as an each way bet for it. If you don't have the pro package, what's the best way to pick a lucky 15? Finger in the air, look out the window and see what's coming up the road is all I can really say on that. Without this lucky 15 or the lucky finder, it's really not worth doing unless you've got a load of inside knowledge from somewhere. But even on that side of things, inside knowledge can mean diddly squat with regards to horse racing. So yeah, the lucky 15 is definitely the tool to use for it. Otherwise, you are just basically gambling without an edge. The lucky finder gives us that edge that we're looking for by selecting the EV horses and giving us the long-term profit with a positive EV for us on that side of things. So without it, it is just a gamble. It really is.
I don't think
So what I've been doing myself over the past couple of days, which is another advantage of the Pro tier. It is a lot riskier. It's got a lot of high variance to it, and that's doing the each way no lay. Bankroll is obviously required for this side of things, and also the percentage that you're using with regards to that as well. Wouldn't recommend using more than 0.5, possibly 0.75 of your bankroll with regards to doing each way no lay. But as I said in the intro, I had some great success with that in the race yesterday. From it, I'll be looking again today. Tuesday, I think I only hit one on Tuesday, if I remember rightly. So I was down a little bit, but I was going to be expecting that. Just because of the variance that there is for each way no lay. Basically, each way no lay is just literally doing a back bet each way with the bookmaker and not doing any lay bets for it at all. So I'm going to have a quick look on there
Yeah, I just
now.
brought it up. I've got it on. I'm showing on the screen at the moment, but yeah, if you have a look. So I'm on the no lay mode at the moment, and we can see some really nice EV bets. Now, what you can do is it is a higher risk strategy again for no lay, because literally if you place your bet and your horse doesn't win or place, because you're not laying it, you will lose your full stake. So you lose your win stake and your place stake. So you have to bear that in mind, as Chris says. Make sure it's a small percentage. I think about 0.5 or 0.75% of your total bankroll as your so each way stake or your total stake. Is that what you were suggesting, Chris?
Total stake.
Total stake, yeah. Okay, so
for it personally.
yeah.
So if you've got a £5,000 bankroll, don't be doing more than sort of £5 each way, really, for that side of things, because of the variance that's there for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you've got some nice results there. You can see the EV percentage on the top one, Anna Bonina, and the 210 Cheltenham EV is nearly 150%. So on £100 of total stakes, on average, you'll make £50 profit, which is fantastic. But obviously, you're not guaranteed. So if you had a £10 each way stake, then the bookie odds are 23. So that's the long-term value. Bookie odds are 23. The likelihood is you'll actually make a loss on that particular bet if you do it once. So it's quite a high variance offer. But if you keep doing it again and again and again, as long as you can afford the you have the bankroll to do it properly, then you'll make decent profits in the long term. But it is something you need to go with your eyes open. There's a warning when you open no lay for the first time about the high variance nature of it. It's a great offer to go for, but don't just be sucked in by these big EVs and think, oh, I'm going to pile on that and going with expectation that this is what you're going to make every offer or every bet, or that you're not going to have losing streaks, because you will do. So that's something to be fully aware of, and just keep your stakes lower to take that into account. You're better to start with full lay mode and actually lay the place part and the win part. Part lay mode is to come later. It's a bit more complicated. We brought in some new things like Lucky Finder, which are more of a priority. That's why part lay mode is coming soon, as has been there for quite a while. So apologies if you've been waiting for part lay mode, but we have been bringing other things in, as you can see, with the Lucky
Me, I've been waiting for that since day one to come out, because parlay is my preferred way of doing it. So I've been waiting, like everybody else, for the parlay to come out. It's a great way of making some profit. Prefer that to each way no lay. even though I know each way no lay is profitable in a very, very long term. But say I've been match betting for best part of 5 years now anyway. I do a lot of casino offers, so I'm used to high risk offers on that side of things. I've got the mindset for it, which is one of the real key elements. As Simon said, you can go on weeks and weeks, races and races of not hitting anything on the downswing side of things. And you've just got to keep ploughing and ploughing and ploughing through it all, and know that in the long term, however long that is, whether that's 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, whatever it may be, you will be in profit from doing it. But a bankroll, percentage of your bankroll, the mindset are the main factors for it. Parlay isn't as risky. I would probably class that more of as a medium risk if you're comparing it to casinos from that side of things. And obviously the full lay mode is low risk for it as well. So as long as you've got the casino mindset, you'd be great doing the parlay and the no lay side of it. And if you haven't got the casino mindset, just stick to the full lay side of it and make your profits from there.
Yeah, there's also Chris was talking about the bankroll. There are a few ways to think about what stake size you're going to use that's sensible for your bankroll. One of them is using something called a Kelly criterion, which is a little bit complicated, but we've got it's calculated for you in the software. So there's a guide here under if you've got pro memberships under Extra Place Master, and it talks about the recommended stake there. So various different things just to have a read through when you have a moment, but that's definitely something to bear in mind. Okay, so
yeah, Kelly staking is a great way of doing it, and the calculator's already built it in, so you haven't got to worry about all the maths that are behind that side of things. So it's another good way of doing it.
Yeah, so just quickly, James, thanks for the question. Are you at risk of losing money with Lucky 15s? Absolutely, yes. So there's you will take short-term losses with some of the bets. You won't make a profit with every single bet, so you will have losing streaks. So lower your stakes according to that. Avoid the offer if you're not happy with the variance nature of it. There are plenty of other offers you can be getting on with, which we'll look at in a moment. You don't have to do it, even if you've got pro membership, but it's a nice new tool that you might want to have a go at. Starting with low stakes. I mean, you can go for 10p stakes, and then because it's going to be boosted up to £3, sorry, of total stakes with that. Very low variance way of doing it, but it kind of dips your toe in it, and you can see how it works. Pretty sure you can have 10p stakes on these. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you can. I think 10p is the minimum that you can do for most bookies with regards to that side of things.
Yeah, but it gets a really nice low stake, and it's a £3 total stake in that case, but the chance of even losing that full £3 is very small. So there you go. Oh, there you go. I don't blame you. I would be exactly the same. It wasn't me that wrote that. So yeah. Right, let's have a look. This one, yeah, price boost tracker is pro membership only. So if you don't have pro membership, you can still do 2-ups, you can still do extra place offers. You won't be able to do lucky 15s because it would just be guesswork, and the bookie would have the edge because you'd just be picking 4 random horses, or the ones you like the name of, or the ones that the inside knowledge that you have, you think you can bet on these ones. The problem is that the people setting the odds at the bookies and the exchange have more inside knowledge than the vast majority of even knowledgeable horse racing bettors. So the bookmaker basically has the edge. So yeah, price boost tracker, you can still do price boosts. There's a price boost and no chat thread, or the price boost will be on there anyway, so follow that, have a look at that. Price boost tracker is a nicer way of finding them, but it's not essential at all. Platinum membership's great, it's got loads of value to it, as is diamond membership with casino offers as well. As I say, you could do 2-ups with platinum membership or diamond membership, but you won't have access to the 2-up master, which helps you to find the best EV bets. That's what that adds basically. Extra place offers, again, you can use extra place catcher, and you can place your extra place bets with platinum or diamond membership, But as you can see, the thing that's added by the pro membership is this EV. That's the big thing. It might seem like a trivial addition, but it's huge, really, in terms of how easy it is to find the profitable bets compared to using something like extra place catcher or with lucky 15s just not being possible at all. So that's the new thing that's added, basically. The prize boost tracker is just the convenience of it, really, without doesn't really add the EV to it, but it adds a nice display, and it makes it easy to find, and you can see more clearly what you're going to get from it. So that's the difference. Right, so shall I have a look, Chris, at some of the offers that are on today?
Yeah, so I'm just having a look at, to be honest with you. So I'll do a screen
do you
share.
want to share? You share.
Yeah, I don't want that one. It's that one I want. So that should be coming up on your screens now. Yep. So yeah, up on the forum, just literally going through to go back to the start so I can show you guys. Just going onto the forum, clicking on the top there, and then just going into the Cheltenham 2024 offers. Nice breakdown that's been done by the forum guys about Cheltenham, what's about today, and all the offers that are there for it. So we've got some nice offers of prize boost from Bet365, bet £10 get 50 free spins from 365, prize boost from Sportsbook, etc., etc. And we've also got the horse racing refunds that are available for today. So the 5 ITV races, and then the last two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last 2 races been non-ITV. But who have we got today? We've got 888 doing horse racing refund on the 130. So if your horse finishes second or third, it'll be a stake refunded back for you on that, which I believe, yeah, it's £20 with 888. So it's a nice offer that we can lock some profit in with regards to that side of things using the horse racing refund calculator, which I'll go through with you guys in a moment. Unibet on the same race as well, but it's a £10 one, but that one's refunded as cash. So it's actually a cash refund and not a £10 refund. So a nice offer from there. SpreadX basically doing the same with your horse not placing. So it's the equivalent of doing a second or third, which could change if there are non-runners. It might come down to second place anyway. But again, your stakes refunded as free bet. Sporting Index, which is part of the same group, doing the same offer. The Coral one's a little bit different. It's a stake percentage of free bet if your horse wins, but your horse has to be at odds of 5-1, 6.0 as we call it in the match betting world, in order to get the free bet back for it. So it's an okay offer, but it's not one of the best offers from there. That'd be bonus locking calculator for that one, wouldn't it, Simon?
You can try, yeah. The reality of it is because of the high odds. I'll put one in while you're talking through other ones. I'll put one in as an example just to put it a bit of context about the sort of odds you need to get. You need to get really close matches to make it profitable. Looks like a great offer, but because odds of six or above, there's about a 1 in 6 chance of a horse at odds of 6 winning. Probably less than that because the bookie odds are a bit lower because they take the edge, obviously. So maybe 1 in 7 chance of winning. And you only get the free bet if that happens. Otherwise, you take a qualifying loss. So locking a profit with that, you have to use the bonus locking calculator in wins mode. It's very, very small margin for profit. But I'll put one in anyway, just to show you the idea.
I think I worked out. I think you need to be looking at odds of over about 10, 11 to actually sort of get any sort of little bit of profit from it at all.
Lower odds are better for it. And the lower odds are better for it with the wins mode. So it's £10, is it? £10. I'll fill it in as we're going. What I'll
Yeah.
do. Do you want to? Do you want to get the other one? I'll just share that one later because you're sharing at the moment.
I can come out of that. That's not a problem. That should be me stop sharing now. Yeah. So
I'll nick it then. Right. Okay, so bonus locking calculator. Normally what you'd be doing is using it in losers mode, but obviously you get the free bet here if it wins. So it's a £10 stake, is it, Chris?
it's £10 for that one, Simon.
£10. Okay, so minimum odds of 6. So let's say you find a horse at odds of 6, which is the minimum odds. Odds of 6 there. Is it starting odds or just the odds that you back it at as well? That's another thing that's important.
That's the thing. It doesn't really state
Right.
On the offer, so it could be a little bit risky from that side of things. And it also doesn't state whether it's just one bet that's available either for the day. So
Okay.
um,
You're probably
I
best
would
not to use
personally
the locking calculator.
I would personally say that you should be okay with your backs with the odds that you get it at. It doesn't say anything about SP starting prices, but at the same token, that doesn't say that it's not going to be the SP. So it's a bit of a swings and roundabouts argument that could be put in place.
Yeah, so assuming they pay you out based on the original back odds that you've got, you could use the bonus locking calculator. So let's say you got a one that was back odds of 6. The maximum bonus is 10. So the stake is £10. The bonus is £10 as well. It's a free bet. So we're saying we can make 80% from the free bet, £8 from a £10 free bet. We're going to do it on a 0% commission exchange. And let's say the layouts are 6.4. So a really close match. Now, if you look at this, the profit you can lock in is only 63p. So it's a really tight margin. Even if you get a perfect match, it's only £1.35 profit you can lock in. So even with the best you can get without arbing, which you definitely shouldn't do, you probably shouldn't go for a perfect match either. You're only locking in a small amount of profit, and that's with the lowest odds. If you go for higher odds, let's say 8 and 8, it actually gets worse. So the higher the odds are, the worse it is because you're in wins mode. So it's the opposite of the bonus locking calculator in losers mode, where you go for higher odds. So let's say something like 8, 8.6. Another one, you get 8.8. You got no profit locked in at all. Now you will lose a little bit of money from when you lay it anyway. In fact, you're going to. This is an overlay on the bet. So you lose a bit of profit on it. But basically, if you got a horse with odds of 8 and 8.8, and you just back and lay it for a small qualifying loss and hope for the £10 bet, you probably find it's not worth doing in the long run. If it shows with no profit or a loss on the bonus locking calculator when you fill it in, you'll probably find that if you do it back and lay as normal and hope the horse wins, you'll probably find it's not profitable either in the long run. So as Chris says, it's an okay offer, but you need to get really good odds for it, and as low as you can. So as low as you can, as close to 6 as you can, and as close between back and lay odds. So there you go.
Yeah, and for that side of things, you also need to be looking at sort of bigger field races as well, just in order to get that sort of favourite, having the odds a little bit closer to the 6 as possible. If you're looking at something like the 130 today, the top 2 horses are like 3.25 and 3.5 for it. Next horse, I think, is about 4.5. And then the 4th horse is at odds of 9. So that 4th horse is your only option for that race because of the odds being at 6. But it's the 4th favourite, so it hasn't got as much chance as what the other 3 have of winning the race. So it's it's not a complex offer. That's the wrong way to put it, but it's an offer that does need to be thought about a little bit. And for the little bit of profit that you can get on there, it's a bit of a different one. But as we always say, looking after the pennies, pounds look after themselves. So a little bit of profit here and there, locking in a pound. Great, especially if you can do it over the 7 races each day, over the 4 days, 28 races. It's a nice, quick, easy 25, 30 pound that you could be making just from that one offer. So it's worth doing, but would not as profitable as what some of the other racing refund offers are. that are available. MGM, if you can manage to get onto the site and still have the offers on there, doing a great offer of a 100% price boost on any race today. So that's a guaranteed profit that you can make from that offer. Nice, easy one to do on that side of things. And then Sky have also got, it varies from account to account. Some people have got £5, some have got 10. I've been really, really fortunate and got £20 on my account, well, my daughter's account that she's using. So that's basically just doing a back and lay for £20 on the 130 today, and you get a £20 free bet to use on any race. So again, just keeping the qualifying losses down as low as possible, and you've got a £20 free bet to use to lock in, or a £5 or £10, depending what Sky have got for you on there. What's that you're going through there, Simon?
I'll just go through the day's offers. So another way to find them, Chris was showing on the forum. You've also got on the Cheltenham Festival summary, which is towards the top of the relayed offers, and you can find them there. Just a different format. You can still go to them on the forum as well after that, but some people might prefer to go through this. And you've got plenty of different all-day offers. So £5 free bet in Cheltenham, which is great. The 100% boost is fantastic if you've got the BetMGM one. And bet £5, get £5 free bet Cheltenham for Coral. These are all Cheltenham offers because it's the Cheltenham section. Free bet from Paddy Power. Very generous £1 free bet from LiveScore, but it's a free bet. They just give it to you, so that's nice. So just you can use that. You can lay it off if you want to, or you can punt it. It's a £1 free bet, so it's entirely up to you with that one. Betfair Sportsbook. If this says bet X, get free bet, it means that the stakes are going to vary from person to person. Some of these, Bet UK, have some nice offers on horse racing. £5 free bets, another £5 free bet. So loads of £5 free bets going. 10 Bet, got 4 of them, which is great. Tote £1 free bet. You probably just want to punt that one, I would imagine. Although you can treat it like the ones from the sign-up offer and lay exactly £1 less. Well, they lay £1 less than the lay stake it shows, just because and place it as close as you can to the start of the race. If you're laying it, if you're not laying it, then just place it, hope for the best. Some free spins ones. Talked last time about the free spins ones being worth doing. This one's a marginally profitable one, 69p. There's value in it if you can get a small qualifying loss. 25p qualifying loss that's based on, so that's a pretty small qualifying loss. Not a great value, but if you can get a decent bet, by all means go for that one. So other small free spins ones as well for there. And obviously you've got the extra place offers there, price boost there on the price boost tracker, and also in the no chat thread there. But yeah, that's those are the offers, and there are also the specific ones for certain races. So it's plenty of time before the 130 starts, which I believe is going on time today. Unlike yesterday, no cancellations today, as far as I know. So yeah, £20 risk free with Cheltenham is a great offer if you have BetMGM. Dazen Bet, £10 risk free. Now Dazen Bet's an interesting one. Some people might say, well, what about the sign up offer? Now they do have a sign up offer, but you need to have a DAZN account linked to it. Now, DAZN, I believe, or DAZN, I believe it's a TV channel, basically. So you need to have a paid account with DAZN, not DAZN Bet. I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but you'd have to have an account with them, and you'd have to link that to your DAZN Bet account to get the sign-up offer. So most people won't have one of those accounts. If you do, great, go for it. But if you don't, most people won't. Just sign up to them anyway, because they don't have any other sign-up offers, and then you can do these offers. These don't require you to have an account with DAZN, the TV broadcaster. So you may not have heard of them before anyway. But well worth going for, well worth opening just for that. Price boosts, various other things, and go through the different races. There are plenty of other ones. The 25% Bet365 boost they like to do. More free spins there, and there's loads to be getting on with. With the horse racing refunds, do remember as well that you can use Match Catcher for it. So I've just what I'll do, I'll clear filters for this one. So let's say you're doing the horse racing refund with Unibet. You could just select Unibet in the filters, and it brings up the Unibet bets. So just you can find the decent bets for that one. So yeah, Match Catcher is basically, it's a really quick odds matcher specifically for bookies that are doing reload offers, basically. So anything that's in the reload offers section, have a look on Match Catcher first. You can use the regular odds matcher for it, but Match Catcher is designed for it. It shows it just what you need, no more, and it's much easier to filter, and is nice and quick, and shows you exactly what you need to do. So that's the best tool for it. Some nice filter options as well, time frame, whatever.
There you go, Simon. That's how you pronounce it. The Zone, as in the zone. That's how it's pronounced. Thank you, Isla92, for that. Much appreciated. We know for future it's the Zone.
I won't have to sound like a complete numpty in the future pronouncing it Dazen. That's the last time I'm going to say Dazen. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I've seen some of the adverts for DAZN and never really heard how it's pronounced or taken any notice of how it's pronounced at all. So yeah, is a bit of a strange one for that DAZN, DAZN, however it's pronounced. Appreciated from that side of things. So I don't know if there's any questions any of the guys have got, or if there's anything that Simon wanted to go through at all. I think so. We've covered the Lucky 15. We've done the each way no lay side of things. We've done the prize boosts. Gone through today's offers on that side of things. Trying to think if there's anything else that we could or need to sort of really cover.
We could fire off a
Today.
little bit more detail of the extra place master if you want to. Just have a bit of a look, see what's available.
Yeah.
In different modes. Do you want to present, or shall I present?
I can do it. That's fine. I'll just call up the extra place master. Would be an idea to start off with, Christopher.
And for those people who don't have Pro membership, it's a nice cheeky free peek at it.
Yeah,
we'll be screenshotting away. Let's have that one.
Thing is, you got to remember is that all these prices can change pretty quickly with regards to that side of things. So
yeah,
I'm going to share the extra place
jokey suggestion
master with you guys. But yeah, and that is one of the big things, especially this week. The odds will be changing around so quickly for Cheltenham, with money coming in here, there, and everywhere from professional gamblers, from people that are on their lunch breaks, tea breaks, to whenever time. As we covered on Tuesday, and Simon and Andy did yesterday, Cheltenham is the biggest horse racing festival in the UK, renowned across the world as well. So lots and lots of money going into the Cheltenham Festival from here, there, and everywhere. So odds will be changing quite a bit. The thing to remember with the extra place master, whether you're in full lay or no lay, is that when you come on there, that's the odds that will stay there for a little while. So it's always best to just keep pressing the refresh button, and that will give you the updates as and when they come through for us. So it just updates it even quicker from that side of things. As Simon said earlier, full lay is the most common and most used function that are on there. It's where we're still doing our extra places and we're doing a back bet based on each way, and then we're doing a lay bet based on the win and also on the place side of things as well. Part lay, yeah, we're still waiting for that to come through. And then the no lay is where we are just literally doing the back bet with huge variance for it, as we're not laying those off at all. Long-term profitable way of doing things, but very, very high risk, which needs a bankroll and a sensible percentage that you're doing from that side of things. But as we're talking about Cheltenham and sticking with the Cheltenham theme, what we'll do is have a quick look at anything that's coming up today on a full A side of things for the Cheltenham Festival. So you can just literally select which race course that you want to have a look at for that day, and we'll go with Cheltenham that's on there, and look at the races from there. You can just, sorry, sliding down there, select which bookies you want for this. So if you just want to use a Gubbed account for your extra place side of things, you want to keep your Sky, Bet365 and Paddy Bet healthy for all the other offers that they do, being the bigger players out there. You can do that. So if you just wanted to say, I'm just going to do 32 red, I'm gubbed on, let's say, Coral, Ladbrokes, and let's say you are gubbed on Paddy Parasol. So you just wanted to do those bookmakers as your selections. You can just tick those boxes, click the apply, and then it will just concentrate on those bookmakers for you to be looking at to do your extra places. Normally, we'd be looking at EVs between, excuse me, guys, 105 and 120% non sort of festival weeks, so on the normal sort of Saturday side of things. But with it being Cheltenham, you can probably squeeze that to 125, 130% as the EV. But if it's on a gubbed account, you can go up to whatever EV you wanted, but I would not be going below 105% myself personally from that side of things. So extra places that we've got. So on 32 red and on Paddy, we've got a great selection at the top there of Bold Endeavour with 117.9% EV from it. Back odds of 81, exchange winners 160, and exchange place odds of 22. A lot of people been asking with regards to the extra place master and the extra place catcher, sort of the differences between them. The main thing is that the extra place catcher only looks at IOs, the implied odds side of things. So it's just looking at what the back odds are and what the lay odds are and what the place odds are and the place odds are on the lay side of things as well, and working what the implied odds would be for that side of things, which is still a great method to use, but it's not a true method to use because you could be getting a favourite, for example, that's odds of 3 with back win with lay win odds of 3, and the place odds are at 2, and the lay odds are at 2. For example, just use something really, really hypothetical, which would give great implied odds for it, but it wouldn't be looking at it actually finishing in that extra place that we're looking for. It's literally saying that that horse is going to win the race, which is fine, but we're not looking for that. We're actually looking for where the horse is going to finish and whether it's going to finish in the places. And this is what the extra place catcher does. It actually looks at the higher probability of the horse finishing within those extra places that we are looking for it to finish in to give us the profit that we are looking for. So there's a lot more algorithms, a lot more of the factors that it takes into account. On that side of things, it doesn't just look at the implied odds, it looks at odds across all of the horses, does all calculations and other factors that are also built into there, which then gives us this value that we're looking for, which again is an estimated value, which again gives us the profit over the longer period of time. So if we were looking at Bold Endeavour, the top horse there in the 10 past 4 at Cheltenham, we'd literally just be clicking on the calculator there, and then it just brings up, as it does for all of them. If you're doing this at a £10 each way, it's £20 in total on odds of 81, we'd be laying £5.6 on the win side of things, and we'd be laying £7.73 on the place odds of 22, which if the horse finishes anywhere apart from those extra places would be a loss of £6.87. But if it does land in the extra places, it'll be £163.13p that would make as a profit from that side of things. And the bookies are paying 6 places on this race. So I would say that Smarkets should be doing 4-place market from that side of things. And that's where the odds would be generated from there. But you can just click onto the Smarkets logo there, and it'll take you directly to the Smarkets page for that, and then you just correlate with the odds that are there for the place market that it's doing. But if it's 6 places by the bookie, that's an industry standard of 4. So we're looking for our horse to finish in places 5 or 6 to make that profit. If it finishes anywhere else, if it finishes 1 to 4 or finishes from 7 to however many horses there are in that race, you'd be at a loss of £6.87 for that. But it's got a £3.50 EV based on a £10 each way bet. So that would be an EV that we could be banking if it doesn't fall into there. So our EV graph over X amount of time would be going up in accordance with that, and the long-term profits would come from that side of things.
Yes,
I'm going to go back and stop
a question here, which is a good question from Peter. Thank you. So the only issue is the liability for the win odds of £160 with a £10 each way bet. There's a very easy way around this. It's just to lower your stake. So just choose a £1 stake, £2 stake, something like that. Something that gives you a liability that you've got the bankroll for and that you're happy with. Also a qualifying loss that you're happy to take as well. So if it's a higher odds horse, lower your stakes, because you'll still get a decent payout. If you get a high odds horse, then the extra place profit is going to be much higher for a certain stake than a lower odds horse. So if you lower your stake, you can you still get a decent payout if you hit the extra place. So I don't know the specific answer for this one, but it will vary depending on your stake. So just adjust the stake for each time you do a bet to make sure that you're happy with the liability that you're taking and you're happy with the qualifying loss, and you can see the profit you'll make if you hit the extra place. The key though in the long term is the value, the EV.
Yeah, it certainly is. And if you'd got 2 horses in the same race for it, you'd have the shared liability on the win side of it anyway for it. So you're not using up as much liability. Obviously, you wouldn't have the shared liability on the place market until you got onto the 5th, 6th horses that you're placing on that side of things. So yeah, it always is going to vary on your stakes and how many horses you are doing per race as well. And does Sky do a lucky 15? Yep, they certainly do. I'm using my Gubbed account to do a lucky 15 on with them today, because they've got some great places being offered for a couple of the races. So absolutely fine on that side of things for it. Still okay to do on a healthy account, no problem whatsoever. But if you do have a Gubbed account, better to use that in my mind.
Yeah, I just want to cover one more thing. I'll share that. We're slightly over now, so we're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes, I think. But there's Sky Bet Lucky 15 fits the criteria that I was suggesting earlier. So over 120% overall EV. The values from there. I haven't done the max win EV, but I can see that there aren't any that are over 100 anyway. But just make sure you set the max EV to 100. Overall odds only 9,000. So you got a 1 in 9,000 chance of that. That winning, which is very, very high, but lower than most of these. So that's because the bookie odds are low-ish for 3 of the horses. So yeah, they do that, and that's a decent one to go for. The other thing I wanted to point out is in the general section, we've got the extra place master results has just been pinned temporarily for here. And what you can see if you go there, so general section on the forum, this is available even if you don't have pro membership, but it shows basically the Chris was talking about the EV and how much of a difference it makes. That's all very well sort of say, well, the EV on this horse is 120%. Well, prove it. As we mentioned a few days ago in one of the lives, you can see what we actually did is we gathered the data for snapshots of horses, that all horses that were above 100% EV, that they were taken at 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Various other things they were looking at. But basically they plotted the EVs of all these horses and then looked at the actual results to see where they finished. And this is over nearly 2,000 bets, or 2,000 different horses. Now, these weren't actual bets that were placed. They were just having a look at, if you had placed these bets, this is what the EV was for them, according to the calculator, Extra Plays Master, and also the actual results. You can see it tracks the green wiggly line, goes up and down a lot. You know, there's like £1,000 swings here in a relatively small number of horses going up and then down, but it tracks the line really, really nicely. The point really being that the EV is a very good, accurate representation of it. And that was so this was, what was it? Low variance, and this is no lay. This is no lay, so it's quite a high variance, but you can see even no lay over this many bets, you can see it's tracking the line quite nicely. If you looked at a shorter section of 100 bets, it would be all over the place, but panning out to see the full picture basically over all these bets, you can see it tracks it really nicely. So that's no lay, staking to win £200. This is what I was mentioning to Peter. You can lower your stakes. So this is to win £200 if you hit the extra place. And this is the lower variance way of doing it. So you're adjusting your stake basically so that if your horse hits the extra place, you get £200 profit. And so you'll have a lower stake for higher odds horses and a higher stake for lower odds horses. This is just a simple staking £10 each way. Big variance with this one, an absolutely enormous win there of you know, with 151 odds horse winning a race. So that's what this leapt up there for. But you can see even that this is the very high variance way of doing it, just staking £10. Doesn't matter what the odds are, you stake £10 on every horse. Still works out, it tracks it nicely, but this is, you know, still wiggling up and down loads and loads and loads. Over even 2,000 bets. So it's very high variance strategy certainly with a high stake like that. So you might want to stake to win a certain amount, which lowers the variance even with no lay. You also got full lay mode as well. Now the reason this looks like it's more wiggly, even though it's a lower variance way of doing it, is that it's basically only 350 different horses compared to nearly about 2,000 with the other one. So that's why that's you know, varying and more. Final one is they looked at, again, a small sample of 350 horses, and they were looking at the extra places hit compared, so it says the graph shows the number of extra places hit compared to the expected number of places hit, and it's pretty close. So the green line is tracking below it at the moment. So the actual places hit slightly lower than expected, but you're still getting a lot of hits. And the key really is that these ones above, you can see the actual results are tracking the expected results really well. So that's available in general section if you want to have a look at it.
Cool, and that I think is us done for the day. On that, so things you've got Oz and Andy tomorrow for the live at 11 o'clock in the morning. If you have by any chance missed us this morning, it is recorded and available to watch if you want to watch it later on. And need something to go off to sleep tonight with, listening to myself and Simon, no problem whatsoever. Don't forget your cocoa and tuck up in bed, be great. But yeah, guys, that's everything for us. So it's goodbye from me, and I'll let Simon wrap up for the day for us.
We'll do. Just one very quick question here. In terms of what's your best picks for today, odds wise, what I would suggest is, rather than suggesting any particular picks, I am not a I have no idea which horses are likely to win any other than others. I would just go through the top sports reloads of the day and go for those ones, rather than take a punt on one that you think is going to win. But we've talked about the different tools that we can have, so that's what I would say. You've got you know, platinum membership, diamond membership, pro membership. There's loads of value. Don't forget the non-Cheltenham offers as well. If you're doing casino offers, don't forget those offers, obviously. There's plenty on, basically. But no idea which horses are most likely to win, apart from looking at the odds and looking at the high numbers being less likely to win and the low numbers being more likely. That's my take on this. There we go.
And the only take that you need.
Very welcome. Right. And on that note, it is a goodbye from me. So thanks for joining us. You can catch up with these, as Chris said, various different places. If you can't find them, contact us on Facebook page or get in touch with us in customer support. We'll let you know what to do. But thanks ever so much for joining us today, and good luck with Cheltenham. I hope it goes well for today and tomorrow, the last day. And take care. Over and out.
Good night, all.
Good night. Good night. You go to bed already?